Hello, welcome to Maximize Your Time and Elevate Your Life, the weekly podcast that gives busy professionals practical tips to work smarter, not harder. I'm your host, Blinn Bates, and each week we're going to explore simple strategies to help you take control of your calendar and create more margin in your life. Because although time is finite, how you use it matters. Welcome back. Most people aren't designing their weeks, they're just reacting to their week. Meetings appear, emails pile up, interruptions happen, and suddenly Friday is there and you're wondering where'd the time go. Today I want to talk about a powerful tool called the Perfect Week Plan. This is sometimes called an ideal week or a time template. It's just a blueprint for how we're going to ideally spend our weeks. Your calendar should reflect your priorities, not just your obligations or the obligations that other people want you to have. So, what is a perfect week? Perfect week is, right from the outset, I'm going to say it's never going to be perfect. So we can shoot for that knowing we're never going to attain perfect. But what it is a framework for intentionally structuring our time, and that template is going to align your week with your priorities. So it's a proactive design rather than reactive type scheduling. Ultimately, once this is implemented, it's going to reduce overwhelm, provide greater clarity, more focus, intentional time for both work and personal life. Again, our goal is not going to be perfection. It's intentionality. So first and foremost, I would tell you, one of the best tools you can use is time blocking. So it's assign specific blocks of time for categories of work. So think about deep work, meetings, email, strategic planning, personal time, whatever that might be. This time blocking is going to prevent everything from blending together. So you're going to have strategic times to do these things. Maybe you have theme days. So Monday, maybe we're doing planning and leadership. Maybe Tuesday and Thursday are client work. Wednesday, maybe we're doing growth and development. Friday, we're going to do administration and reflection. Our brains work better when we're not constantly switching contexts. So our perfect week should reflect what matters most to us and align with our priorities. So ask yourself, what are my top professional priorities? What are my top personal priorities? And then allocate the time during your week accordingly. If something matters, it should have space on your calendar. This isn't going to be rigid, so we want to build in some buffer time, some recovery time, adjustment room in there, and hopefully our calendar is going to be a guide to us and not a trap any longer. So first thing I want you to do is identify your major categories of what you do on a weekly basis. Deep work, meetings, client work, business development, team leadership, administrative work, personal time, gym, exercise, family, all those things. And then write all those down, okay? We want to protect our calendar for the best work when we're at our best. So when are we at our best? And write that down. Am I better from 8 to 10 in the morning, or am I better from 10 to 12 at night? Most people have a peak time during the day, and we want to use that time for our most important work, whether that be strategy, writing, thinking, problem solving. Then we want to use our lower energy times for things like administrative work, email, meetings, that type of thing that doesn't take a lot of brain power. And then we're going to add in our non-negotiables. If we have dinner with family on there, or I go to the gym at this time, or personal development, 10 o'clock on Friday, maybe I build in some reflection time or recovery time, whatever the week should bring, I put that on the calendar too. And then we build in those buffers. No week goes exactly as planned. So we want to have some time for interruptions, unexpected things, putting out those fires. This is going to protect the rest of what we're putting in there, hopefully. And then a few tips and tricks on this, I guess, is we want to start with quote unquote good week. All right. We're not going to be able to start from perfect right out of the chute. In fact, we're never going to get to perfect. Perfect's the ideal that we're shooting for. We want to design something realistic to start with. We want to schedule our largest, most important tasks first. Don't let things like meetings and email consume our best hours. And then we want to review this. So once we've gone over it, once we've gone through it 1 week, 2 weeks, we want to look back at it and say, what tweaks should I make to make sure that it's evolving as I'm changing, my responsibilities are changing, things like that. Then once we get it in pretty good shape, we can use this as a decision filter. So when new potential commitments arise, we can ask ourselves, does this fit in the perfect week somewhere? If not, we've got to get rid of something else. And maybe the answer is, no, I don't want to do this. So, I read, if it's not a heck yes, it's a no. So maybe we need to decline that new commitment. And then we want to expect that we're going to have iterations of this. The first draft's not going to be perfect. Things are going to change over time. Maybe life circumstances change. If I have a child, my life's going to be very different than when I didn't have a child, that type of thing. So this week, I'm going to challenge you to sit down, block out an hour, and I want you to sketch out a perfect week. Just a draft starting point. Include your work priorities. Include your personal priorities, include your exercise time, your focus time, your buffer time in there, and then test it. 2 weeks. Test it for 2 weeks, look back at it, reevaluate it, revise it accordingly, adjust, and improve. Designing your week is going to be one of the highest leverage planning activities you can do because you know how that week should unfold. If you don't design your calendar, somebody else is going to design it for you. When we're designing your time with intention and we're aligning our calendars to our priorities, that's how we're going to maximize our time and elevate our life. Thanks for listening to Maximize Your Time, Elevate Your Life. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe and share it with someone who could use a little more time freedom. If you're ready to maximize your time, please navigate to our consulting page on my website, which is blinnbates.com, and submit the right fit evaluator to see if I can help you elevate your life. Remember, time is limited, but your potential isn't. I'll see you next week.